My name is Steve Ono. I'm the author of Can Any Guitarist Even Dream, and I'm here to talk about dots, ties, and cut time. A tie is glue. It glues a half note to a quarter note, creating a 3-beat long note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is the same as a dotted half note. A dot will add half of whatever the value of the original note is. So a dotted whole note would be 6 beats long. Can't have them in 4/4, but you can in 6/4. Okay? Now, if I have a 3-beat long note, that'll work to fill an entire measure of 3/4. So dotted half notes are like whole notes in 3/4. Why? Because they are 3 beats. 2 beats for the half note, 1 beat for the dot, which is exactly like gluing a half note onto the end of, gluing a quarter note onto the end of a half note. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So the leftover beat is the 4th beat, right? Now the other way to work that would be to have the short note in front. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So this is how we get odd numbers, okay? 3 beats as opposed to 2 beats or 4 beats. What happens if I cut a quarter note in half? I got 2 eighth notes, right? What if I glue one of those eighth notes back onto the quarter note? Well, then I get and 3. 1 and 3. And 1 and 3. And 1 and 3. And 1 and 3. And 1 and 3. Right? And of course, that eighth note can either step into the beat, into beat number 1 or beat number 3, 1 and 3, or it can bounce off of or step off of that beat. 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and. So I'm stepping off of the beat as opposed to onto the beat. Okay? So an eighth note is a stepping stone. 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and can I have both? A step into and a step off? Of course. Now, dots only operate inside of a measure. Once we cross the bar line, then we're talking about ties only. And if you've ever heard a note that just rings forever, that is a bunch of whole notes all tied together. As long as it'll run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It's already died off. So maybe 2 whole notes is the max I can get out of any chord. This is also how we cross a bar line. So if 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Any of those kinds of offset rhythms are going to be created using dots and ties. Just remember, everything has to add up to 4/4 or 3/4, depending on the kind of rhythm you're dealing with, right? Now, one of the most basic rhythms in rock music is the heavy backbeat on 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I hit the 2 and the 4 a little harder. 2 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the other basic rock beat is the and of 2 push. 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4. So here we're accenting the offbeat of 2, the and of 2, which we then let ring through 3, and then we use the and 4 and as kind of a wind up back into 1. Now those are really important to do. If I'm doing a straight ahead rock rhythm, I would stick to pretty much downstrokes. But if I was doing something more folky or a little quicker, 1, 2, and 1, 4, and 1, 2, and, at which point the upstroke on the and becomes the most important part. 1, 2, and. Okay? Now, music can also go half as fast. Half as fast. If I'm counting in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I could also count in 2. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And at which point I'm really counting 2 half notes, and that is cut time. 2 half notes is a 2 beat. Okay, it looks like 4/4, but it's felt like 2. 1, 2, as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the cousin of 2/2 is 2/4, which might show up in any song that you're playing. They might very well go into something where they add an extra 2 beats. Okay? 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That can happen. It usually is an occasional thing in 4/4. What about 3? Hey, we've talked about 3/4 before. The waltz time, another waltz is 3/8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and eighth notes in 3/4. 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Of course, if it was 3/8, those would look like 16th notes.